application works, how the Angular application works. First, we will see, so Angular application, Angular application, high level architecture, high level architecture. High level architecture, how it actually works. Once you start working with it, you can understand the low level architecture. You can understand the low level architecture. That means in depth, the architecture of Angular application. So at high level, what is the basic architecture? That means how actually Angular application works, that you need to understand. That means how Angular application works, we need to understand about that. Let's see how Angular is going to work at high level. Technically, what it comprises of and how it works, right? So at high level, Angular application usually comprises of modules. It comprises of modules. It comprises of injectors. It comprises of services. So it contains components, and it contains template, and it comprises of metadata, and it contains directives. These are the important terms you need to understand. In order to understand the Angular architecture, you need to know about these. I name several more Angular points you will understand. So later when you work with Angular, as I am explaining an high level architecture because you are in the beginning stage. Once you start exploring Angular, you can understand internal flow also, means how inside it works, details. But generally, Angular application comprises of modules, injectors, services, components, templates, metadata, directives. These are the key components. That run Angular application. So what are modules? Already we know. What are modules? Already we know. So already we know about modules. Technically we know about modules. What we technically know about modules, we discussed modules namespaces in TypeScript recently. And what you know about modules? What are the modules concept? Technically, we know that a module is a collection of various entities, which includes so contracts, right? Which includes templates, which includes services, etc. A module is a collection of various entities which includes contracts, templates, services. That means all are present in a module. Already last session we discussed modules and the namespaces I told you. So module is a collection of all these. I no need to explain what are contracts, what are templates, and what are services. So technically, contracts defines the rules and the templates configure the abstraction and implementation, right? And the services contains the functionality implementation. So modules are very important for Angular application. Everything is handled by using these modules initially. So we have component related modules, service related modules, value related modules, function related modules. So many are there. Now we have injectors. Injectors are nothing but, so injector identifies the dependencies. Injector identifies the dependencies. Injector identifies the dependencies. Dependencies for the component. Dependencies for the component or service you are using. Using in application, and responsible for loading all dependencies. Injector identifies the dependencies for the component or service you are using in application. I will show you diagram also. So whatever services, whatever components you are trying to use in application, injector will identify its dependencies. Dependencies means what classes it needs, what functions it needs, what contracts it needs. It identifies all the dependencies and is responsible for loading all the dependencies. If any one dependency is missing, is not loaded, then your application, that specific functionality, it cannot handle. So injectors play the key role in dependency injection. Dependency injection is a mechanism which tracks the dependencies of an object, loads the dependencies, and encapsulates the object with its dependencies. It allows maintainable, testable components to be configured in application. Later, you will hear about a concept called dependency injection. You will learn about that. But dependency injection is not a topic. It's just a design pattern which is used in every object-oriented programming, actually, applications, right? So injectors will play the key role in identifying the dependencies and loading the dependencies, right? Next, that is modules and injectors. What are services? That means actually a service is a predefined business logic. So with a set of factories, and important, factory is a collection of functions. Every factory is a collection of functions. The functions are present in services. Means the factories are injected into services. A service is a predefined business logic. So it contains predefined functionality. So technically, the services are injected into our applications and used. How